life together, and she reached over and grabbed the hot glue gun. She started screaming, so I immediately ran to my cabinet and grabbed my first-degree burn cream, and within a few minutes, her pain seemed to have gone away, and there was no scar.
Burns happen, so be prepared with first-degree burn cream.
Yes, it's time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking, but be kind because he's doing the best he can.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry, we didn't leave you.
He's gone? He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei.
It's time for the second hour of The Voice of Ocala.
Hoo-ah! You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
Like the man said, it's hour 2 of the program with Voice of Ocala. Glad to be with you on this toasty Thursday afternoon from downtown Ocala. We're on the front porch. All the breeze is starting to come through. It's always good here on Cindy's front porch at Mark's Steakhouse and Seafood. We're here about every other Thursday and talking about what's happening downtown. And right now I'm going to introduce some people many of you know already who are really making it happen downtown. And they're a big part of the downtown family, and they've got some news to share. I know they're excited about it. We're excited for them. And we've been talking about it here for all 45 minutes or so. So Elodie and Patrice Perron, I should say it right. Welcome, and good to have you on the show, and congratulations of all the things that are going on down at La Cuisine.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
How are you?
I got no French. That's it. Bonjour and I'm out. That's all I got.
I think this is
but you have French, and you also got French food. You got good French food. So
absolutely.
I said this earlier in the show, and it came from Lori, who you know, and she made the comment about the fact that every town wants certain components to make it a special town. Like this restaurant here, it's a great restaurant, and it's a signature restaurant in downtown Ocala.
It is.
We all know about Mark's. Also, we want to have a good symphony orchestra. We want to have a museum. We want to have a good school system. There are certain things, and you want to have a good French restaurant. That's what people say. If you got a good French restaurant, you're kind of legitimate.
Yeah.
Well, we've got that apparently because you guys have won 3 gold spoons of the Florida Trend Award for top-notch restaurants in the state of Florida, and now you got all of this to worry about because you are now the new sole proprietors. You've been in partnership now for how many years? How many
5 years.
5 years, and now it's now Elodie and Patrice, and that's the buck stops right there. So are you excited about that?
Absolutely, yes. We feel really honored to be here in Ocala, and
What can you say?
What can I say? Yeah, I am really excited, really happy because this is like I'm trying to find my word, but like a reborn. Can I say that? A reborn, a new beginning. Because during 5 years, we have just discovered this place and how people are so amazing, of course, and they supported us, and we really want to share that with us, the passion of and the culture of French cuisine, and I think yes, just to be still here, this is already an amazing dream. This is kind of like American dream in action for us.
The American dream, and I'm told that Elodie knew about the American dream a long time ago from, I believe, her mom told her about coming to America. Now, you're from Lyon?
Yes, I am, sir. Absolutely.
And I'm from Paris.
And you're from Paris.
Yes.
And so, your mom, Elodie, told you about the U.S. growing up. What did she tell you?
Well, it was actually maybe more my dad. I don't know. He was an engineer at IBM, so we've always, been in the American path. I don't know if I can say that, but we almost moved to the United States. It didn't happen. We were very sad, and I always said one day I'll go live in America. And then I met Patrice, and he had the same dream as well. He studied 1 year in Canada.
1 year in Canada,
Yeah.
and I went a couple of times in the United States, and I went to the big city, you know, the Big Apple, New York, and I crossed the Vermont, the Massachusetts, and I don't know why. This is like, I really fall in love with this place. That I see the energy.
Yeah.
My father was an entrepreneur, and I always grew up in this spirits of making something with your hands, you know, and I also grew up with the American culture, because in French TV show we had a lot of American show, you know, and a lot of American product, and yeah, I was fascinated by this country. So the thing was in 2005, I went back in the United States with my wife. We just been married.
Yeah, well, we got married in 2002. That's
You know, guys all right.
1 point for you. All right.
1 point. Like, I remember you were married. You give me one credit.
I was pregnant at the time.
We were pregnant. Our daughter was saying.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when we went back in 2005, it was the beginning of everything. It was really serious for me, and I said, okay, let's go. We really have to do the big jump, and we sold everything that we own in France, the real estate, the cars,
the toys of the kids,
and everything. We did like how do you call that here when you sold everything? You know, the back
sale?
Yes.
We call it a yard sale here.
Yard sale.
It's like we say brocante in French.
Yes, a yard sale. Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
But you were all in. You were all in.
Oh my God.
This speaks to a point I want to get to. We're going to get a break here.
Yeah.
Is that there's this myth out there somehow or the other that French people don't like Americans. And you just told me, prove once again, what I've always heard, that many French are fascinated with Americans, and do like them, and do love our country. So as an example, what you're talking about there, and the fact that your dad told you all about coming to America the whole time. So that part, I want to get real fast to the restaurant, because that's really exciting. I could sit here and talk to you for an hour about all that you've done.
And we're so passionate, so I know.
I know. I love your passion. I love your commitment. Those are two great things.
Yeah.
And we'll have time to share that again sometime. Sometimes over a glass of wine at your restaurant. But anyway, the point is that I want to get to is that you got, now you're sole proprietors, you got a lot of changes going on now. Now, we can't cover them all right now, but I want you to think about these. I know it's some good news on parking, but the food is going to stay pretty much the same, because the guy who's in there cooking it, the chef,
it's me.
Is you. So
I'm going to stay. And I'm working with my crew since 5 years, and they're going to stay here, and we're going to have a lot of new ideas. We are really exciting. We are going to try with more local products, of course, because I really love with. There is so many things in United States and in Florida. You know, everything is grow up very fast, and really fresh, and this is so easy.
We're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about a guy named Chef Viola. Viola.
Yeah, absolutely.
Viola, and he resembles somebody we know in this country called Anthony Bourdain. You watch that show. Talk about your cooking. Also, about the ambiance of the restaurant. What changes you might have in store, like parking, and a little about the menu for people who have not been down there. All right, we'll take a break. We're live from the front porch of Mark's Steakhouse and Seafood on a rather toasty Thursday afternoon. Lots more to come your way. Stay tuned to the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant.
Regions Bank has big bank ability but possesses small bank agility. Utilizing tools like Raymond Andrews and his team of 6 mortgage experts with 100 years of experience in the mortgage industry and 50 years experience as members of the Regions Bank team. Mortgage lending is personal and important, and you deserve someone that will lead you through a positive process. Raymond and his team use local mortgaging processes like local appraisers and local closing to help you have a positive experience, and they habla Espanol as well. So whether you need a conventional, FHA, USDA, or VA loan, or you even need a construction loan, the mortgage team of your local Regions Bank has the knowledge and experience to guide you through the process. So contact Raymond Andrews and his team of mortgage experts at 352-854-4104. That's 352-854-4104. Regions Bank, it's time to expect more.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
Hey Adam, those burgers gonna be done before summer's over?
Maybe. Why? You got big plans for the summer?
Not really. Just the usual, kids hanging around the house. How about you?
Actually, I'm having Joshua get his pilot's license this summer.
What? Is he old enough? Can you really do that in just the summer?
Yeah, you can get your pilot's license at 17, and the summer is plenty of time. Plus, this could be the start to his career as an airline pilot.
That is a great idea. I bet Tyler would love that. Actually, I would too.
You guys should do it.
I don't have time for that. Some of us have to work for a living, you know?
Not you, no. Seriously, they work around your schedule.
Really? That's cool. Where are you going?
Ocala Aviation, at the airport off 60th.
How'd you hear about it?
I heard about it on the radio, then I stopped in. I've got a card if you want the number.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get my phone.
Hurry up, the burgers are burning.
Okay, I'm ready. Go ahead.
861-7484.
Hold on, I missed a number.
Ah, such a slacker. Here it is again. 861-7484.
Excellent. I'm gonna call them now.
How about we eat before you start your new adventure?
That's probably a good idea.
You think?
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Frederick's Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Frederick's Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Frederick's Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Frederick's Appliance.
Welcome back to the program, live from the front porch of Mark's Steakhouse and Seafood. Our special guests, Melody, and Patrice Perron are with us, and they are the proprietors of La Cuisine, a fine dining place right behind the Marion Theater in downtown Ocala. And I want to get back to the passion of what you're doing, because obviously you two are committed. I know you have a home in the historic district. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Your home, and you embraced all things Ocala.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have 2 children, or
We do.
We do.
and they go to school locally in
H Street School. Yeah.
H Street School. And so you were explaining earlier about how you loved it so much here. Why Ocala? Why did you pick Ocala?
We went in 2005 and just as a tourist in Florida, and a friend of mine owned a house here for vacation. And
is that the one at the country club?
Yes, sir.
And they live in Paris, France part of the year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So you
yes. Mr. Pascal Conti and Carolina.
Okay.
And we went to visit them in Ocala, and we were so surprised about this little and quiet and beautiful town. It was not like a typical image of Florida with a seaside and palm trees and crowded, beach. And
so you like the terrain, you like the rolling hills, you like the green, you like the
absolutely
trees.
Absolutely. I grew up on the countryside, and I feel really comfortable here with the sun. It's really important because in France we had a lot of rain.
Yes, and England as well.
Yeah.
So you fell in love with the physical beauty of the place.
Yes.
And then, Elodie, when did you first begin to meet people from Ocala? After you opened the restaurant, you knew one couple who lived at the country club of Ocala. And when did you begin to meet the people and the culture of Ocala? The first couple of years?
The first couple of years, also with the kids in their school, with the school moms and everything. And then, we had so many loyal customers since the beginning. It's amazing. People trusted us, right? Mm-hmm. And so we established a relationship with them, and the circle is growing and growing, and I meet people every day, and
the word of mouth
really,
also.
I feel like it's really easy here to meet people. It's not like a snobby town, if I can say. Yeah. But yeah, people are very, very easy to talk to, very open, not judging. So yes, really love.
It's funny you say that because I'm a native here. I grew up in the city, and I moved away, New York, Colorado, moved back. But some have the perception, if I say I'm from Ocala, I live in a little hick town in Florida, down south, where people are not very intelligent, and they're closed-minded, and they have cliques. They don't like foreigners. They don't like outsiders. And yet, if you read the history of the city, going back to 1890, when this downtown was thriving as a center of commerce, there were European doctors who lived here then, back in the 1890s. It's a lot more cosmopolitan than you think. Now, we're not obviously a big city, than what people would think. And you're just proving that by telling what you're telling me. People were open, they were receptive, they were friendly, there was not a language barrier for you. You were able to, and that's so you connected with the people right away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they are travel educated too. Most of our customers went to Europe, France.
Yeah.
Right. I'm very surprised. Yeah, it's.
We always with our guests we always talking each other about their souvenir of France. In a Normandy or in a seaside of the French Riviera or in the Alps, because we have a beautiful mountains, and of course about the food experience that they got over there.
Right.
And that's why when they come in a restaurant, the best compliment that they can tell me is sometimes it feels like we are really in French in your restaurant, we're in France in your restaurant. We do not have to take the plane and to go in France because here this is the real country of France.
It's funny, and let's flip that for a second and talk about France. Well, it's like I've always loved France. I never have been to France. Mm-hmm. I read a lot about France. I always loved the Hemingway hung out there, and all the things that went on there with the artists and the writers and stuff. And the Woody Allen movie recently I think it was called Midnight Paris, which I love that movie because that was beautiful. And I've several times had tried to plan trips to France. For whatever reason, they got canceled and never did make it over. But before I get put in the ground, I'm going to go to Paris, France, and see that because it's one of the places I've always wanted to go because of all the things you mentioned, the food, the places, the history, Normandy, as you mentioned, the French Alps, the Riviera, a lot of different things. And also, I'm fascinated with the French people in many ways. With what their approach to things and how their love for food and for the arts and what have you. So take me on a little tour right now If I say to you, Patrice, Elodie, I want to go to France. I want to see and do 3 or 4 things. What are the things I must do?
Well, I can start and said if you go to Lyon, where I grew up, you can't miss those little streets with those little restaurants that we call bouchons. Bouchons. Why? Because it was a special place when we used to clean the horse. And the name in French to clean the horse is bouchonner. Bouchonner means cleaning a horse.
Really?
So, in the same time that some people clean your horse, you can go in and just have a drink or a dinner.
Stop over, you have your horse cleaned, and you have dinner.
Absolutely, yeah. And there is so beautiful and very tiny family restaurant, and this is really nice. It's like you are in the last century. This is really, really beautiful. This is my first thing.
Well, I would say next. Well, you have to go to Paris, of course.
Naturally.
But next I would go.
I'm going to say the Eiffel Tower and all that stuff. I understand that.
Yes.
But what are the places you would say, yeah, but you got to go here? What would be the place in Paris?
In Paris, l'île Saint-Louis.
L'île Saint-Louis?
L'île Saint-Louis. It's a small island right in the middle of Paris, and you can enjoy little restaurants. You can sit at the terrace and, watch people.
It's really pleasant because Paris is so crowded and very busy, and l'île Saint-Louis, this is right a little island in the middle, and this is like everything stopped.
Yes.
You can see the crowd out on the both sides of the river, and you are just in the middle and you watch. And
there's another place like this. It's Montmartre. Which is very touristic though, but it's many artists. There's a big square. I don't know if you saw the movie Amélie, the French movie.
Amélie?
Amélie.
Amélie. I did not see Amélie.
It takes place in Montmartre mostly, and there's this big square and many artists, many restaurants, and it's just like that we like about Paris. It's just like, you walk, you stop at a cafe, you walk again, you see the architecture, you feel the atmosphere. Yeah.
I want to talk about food. And I want to talk about your early days of food. Why did you fall in love with food? What was the thing with you?
I grew up in Lyon. Lyon is the capital of gastronomy in France.
Gastronomy, huh?
Yeah. I used to prefer to stay with my mother in the kitchen and make some crepes and quiche than to go in a backyard and with my father and mow the lawn. And it started like that, and after I always invited some friends and make them a good dishes, and because this is that also the food. You can't separate food and friendship, For me, this is that. This is a passion, but this passion, you have to share it. You have to share it, and a passion born in a tradition, because the passion is fed by the tradition of other people. They learn before you, and they transmit you.
Pass down to you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
and this is what of my mother first did, and of course a chef for it was my boss. And he teach me really everything, and
Chef Viola?
Chef Viola. It was my mentor, definitely. Mr. Viola is what we call MOF, a MOF, which it means Meilleur de France. This is best workers of France in a kitchen category, and they are like a top gun of French cuisine. Okay. This is really impressive when you work with them, because they are really brilliant. They have so much creativity in like that right now. In a minute, you have just one lemon, little water or butter, and they can do a beautiful sauce. That's amazing.
So food is like art to them, basically.
This is that. Food is art. This is like a symphony. You just take a butter, it tastes butter. And you just take a salt, it tastes salt. But if you put that together on a nice and crispy baguette, you put that in your mouth together, and this is like a symphony. You know, it tastes different.
It's ratatouille.
It's ratatouille. This movie, you know, it's like maybe a movie for our kids, but it's perfectly made. It's really explain why we are so passionate for that.
About your food.
You know.
I want to take a break and come back. I want to ask you a little bit more. We're going to keep you over for the segment. I want to talk about preparation of food and some little secrets. If I want to go home and try some French dish of some kind, maybe you can say, don't use so much salt, a little more lemon, the sauce. What are those 2 or 3 tips of cooking that you can, when you're trying to cook French, then you can throw it away and go down and eat la cuisine. But I mean, the point is, if I want to learn a little something about food and food prep, maybe you can help us out with that.
Okay.
Then I want to ask you about cooking shows. So we'll talk about that next with Elodie and Patrice, who are the full-blown partners, owners of La Cuisine. Coming back for more after this time out on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
That's what you want to do. Bring me down. Can't none bring me down.
Regions Bank has big bankability but possesses small bank agility, utilizing tools like Raymond Andrews and his team of 6 mortgage experts with 100 years of experience in the mortgage industry and 50 years experience as members of the Regions Bank team. Mortgage lending is personal and important, and you deserve someone that will lead you through a positive process. Raymond and his team use local mortgaging processes like local appraisers and local closing to help you have a positive experience, and they habla Espanol as well. So whether you need a conventional, FHA, USDA, or VA loan, or you even need a construction loan, the mortgage team of your local Regions Bank has the knowledge and experience to guide you through the process. So contact Raymond Andrews and his team of mortgage experts at 352-854-4104. That's 352-854-4104. Regions Bank. It's time to expect more.
Hey, Eddie, I'm playing Augusta in a few hours, and I need a 4th. Want to join us?
Georgia's close, but it's not that close, Alex.
Not Georgia. Golden Ocala. I'm a member at Golden Ocala, and this course has 8 tribute holes, like number 12 and 13. You know, part of Amen Corner, and the postage stamp, and the road hole. It's a phenomenal track. My family and I always have a great time at the pool and at the restaurants. They've got 3, you know. The kids love the tennis programs. My wife practically lives at the spa, and I've been bulking up with a personal trainer in their fitness center. Joining Golden Ocala was one of the best decisions I've ever made, aside from marrying my wife, of course. So you want to join us in a few hours?
Absolutely. I can't wait to play the first hole in golf and the road hole too. Hey, how do I become a member at Golden Ocala?
Eddie, just call 352-402-4343.
Luxury and great golf is affordable at Golden Ocala. Call 352-402-4343 to join.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. At least 15 dead, dozens wounded in a Gaza compound where a UN school is located. Hamas blames Israel. The Israelis say Hamas rockets were fired in the area. Whoever's at fault, State Department spokeswoman Marie Harf says,
"We have condemned those responsible for hiding weapons in UN facilities in Gaza. Obviously urge all parties to respect civilian life."
The FAA lifting its ban on U.S. flights going to Ben Gurion Airport in Tel Aviv. That ban put in place Tuesday after a Hamas rocket landed nearby. The State Department's passport database has crashed. Foul play not suspected. It's a maintenance issue. For his work on behalf of the homeless, a rocker getting an award named after an opera singer. It's my life. John Bon Jovi receiving the Marian Anderson Award. Fox News. We report, you decide.
When cologne is on sale for $3.49 a quart, you don't stock up. When scented bubble bath is on sale for $3.49 a quart, you definitely don't stock up. But now that Napa has Castrol GTX oil on sale for $3.49 a quart, you stock up your garage, your shed, maybe even your bathroom cabinets. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. general states pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 7/31/14.
When burns happen, what you do first matters most. First Degree Burn Cream is the only solution that truly soothes the pain, protects against infection, and helps reduce the appearance of burn scars.
Me and my daughter were doing a craft together, and she reached over and grabbed a hot glue gun. She started screaming, so I immediately ran to my cabinet and grabbed my First Degree Burn Cream, and within a few minutes, her pain seemed to have gone away, and there was no scar.
Burns happen, so be prepared with First Degree Burn Cream.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Jim George. Jim will be in the studio from American Cable Services answering our questions about what's going on in the world of TV and the internet.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events are bite-sized.
And then it's Horse Sense with the Equine Alliance of Marion County educating us about the horse industry.
Join Kelly Fuquay-Hart, the executive editor of Ocala Magazine on Ocala Magazine Radio.
And then Kirsten Kennedy, the education director at the Ocala Civic Theater, will be here with members of the cast of the Youth Musical 13. They're coming in to speak to us about their production.
Jimmy Dore will be joining us. He's the host of The Jimmy Dore Show. He starred in several Comedy Central specials. He's appeared on The Jimmy Kimmel Show and The Late Show with Craig Ferguson and NBC's Last Comic Standing. He's written a book called Your Country Is Just Not That Into You.
All of that plus Fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Attention! Anyone interested in buying a new Chevrolet at GM supplier pricing or lower, turn up your radio now. The Red, White, and Boom sale starts now at Palm Chevrolet of Ocala. We've been instructed by General Motors to eliminate hundreds of new Chevrolets at GM supplier pricing or lower. You pay less than we pay, with no hassles or negotiations. The price you see is the price you pay on hundreds of new Chevrolets at GM supplier pricing or lower. 0 down on every new Chevy. No payments for 90 days. 0% financing for 72 months. Plus, Palm Chevrolet of Ocala will take any trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. And only Palm Chevrolet of Ocala gives you 2 years of free maintenance on every new and certified vehicle. Get GM supplier pricing or lower. No money down, no payments for 90 days. 0% financing for 72 months. During the Red, White, and Boom sales event. Only at Palm Chevrolet of Ocala. 2300 Southwest College Road, exit 350. Just east of I-75 in beautiful Ocala. Or visit palmchevrolet.com. 0 APR is $13.89 per thousand finance. Excludes Corvettes plus tax, title, license with approved credit. Find new roads. palmchevrolet.com.
It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Back with Melody and Patrice Perron, who are the proprietors of La Cuisine. And when we left, we were just talking about food. Patrice talking about how it's important to share food and talking about the art of food. And I asked a question about American cooking shows. Do either of you watch the American cooking shows at all?
Absolutely. We have the cable, but you know what? In these shows, this is like always the competition. They show the competition. The
Top Chef.
Top Chef, and this is a competition.
A lot of tension in the kitchen.
A lot of tension, and I really love this job because there is more like creativity, you know. And when you have to realize something in a very short time, you put away the creativity and you are trying to do something maybe more easy but the creativity, you need maybe some time and you need to speak with other people to share your culture. I'm working with American people in my kitchen. They used to work in California, they used to work in Colorado, in North Carolina, and they bring me some ideas and I bring you some ideas. This is always like a sharing. So I should say, well, of course I know all this show, but I really prefer to enjoy and to have the time to share what they used to prepare and what I used to prepare, and maybe we can make like a fusion. We can call that a fusion cuisine.
Collaboration. So
yeah, a collaboration. Yes.
Well, I don't watch them, just for the record, but I know people do.
Absolutely. Yes.
I don't know what
it's funny. It's for like an entertainment.
Yes, it's obviously reality TV. It's a little hyped up, what have you. And so talk about your preparation. Now, if I come in your restaurant and say, gee, I really like I really want to sample some different kind of French cuisine that I've not tried before. You know, I've had truffles and I've had a variety of kinds of food what would you suggest to me if I said, give me your favorite French dish? What would that be?
My favorite, I am. There is two things. I love fish, and hopefully we are living in Florida, and you have this marvelous fresh grouper on the Gulf of Mexico, which is absolutely a nice fish. The thing is, what I'm going to tell you is the taste of this fish is so beautiful that you don't have to put many things in a plate, Just a couple of things, maybe just like a drop of lemon, a roasted garlic, or a little bit brown butter, or a little grilled endive, just to emphasize the taste of this fish, You don't have, to put too much thing in it, and just taste and enjoy the flavor of what Dame Nature give it to you.
So simplicity.
This is more like the simplicity. This is what I'm really looking for in my cuisine. I am not so, very put everything something crispy, something sweet, something salty, something soft, with wine, with cognac, everything in the same plate. I'm trying to, on each test, just to emphasize with just a couple of good touch, like the shrimps goes very well with orange, and of course you have a good shrimp here, and you have a beautiful orange in Florida. So just with a local product,
use the native products that you got.
Yes.
Is it true that not all true? Not all French food is heavily emphasizes sauces. I know that there are many sauces, but what you just described didn't have a lot of sauces on it. Well, I heard you. So you don't go for the big sauces and I mean some of the dishes.
Yes.
But not all.
And I like that. And we have a couple of items like that in our menu, like beef Burgundy, of course, like blanquette, like a veal stew with a white creamy, a lemony sauce. But there is this. This is two things. On one side, you have the big gastronomy, like the big music, and on the other side, you have those new wave of new chefs, and they used to learn that. And there is this new cuisine. They want more to appreciate the real taste of culture, nature.
Authentic of
and
the food.
This is like more bistro. So one side you have gastronomy, and the other side you have bistro.
Oh.
And if we put that together, there is what we call the new wave. This is the bistronomy.
Bistronomy.
Bistronomy. And this bistronomy is kind of new wave in France. You have a lot of new chefs. They used to work with whole big chefs, and they just open like a little store, and with a couple of things, they are making very beautiful and gorgeous taste.
I want to get this in. Elder's so excited. I can see her in her eyes. She can't wait to get her parking lot set up there, to get her place fixed up. And I want you to tell me about some of the things that you're excited about. I know you don't spend as much time in the kitchen as Patrice, but talk about now. What are you so excited about with Rock?
Well, I am excited about all the events that we are planning on doing. We had the Bastille Day celebration.
They sold out?
Yes, we had 2 can dancers. It was sold out. The waiting list was big. So we'll do that again for sure. I'm thinking about a cabaret night soon. So we'll have this parking lot starting in a few weeks, I hope. So by the end of the year, we should be.
No. The work is going to start in 2 weeks. In August, for the green light of the.
And we are going to celebrate our 5th anniversary also in August. So yes. August 18th, but we'll celebrate later.
Maybe you'll have a little extra wine of some kind out there.
Definitely.
By the way, obviously wine is such an important component for food. I know this is more European than American, although Americans have learned in the last 30 years or so that wine enhances the flavor of the food.
Yeah.
And are you big on the theory that everybody says you got to have white wine with fish, you have to have red wine with beef? Or what is your theory about it?
Well, it's not so true anymore. I feel like whenever you're happy with your kind of wine, I mean, you don't have to stop at red wine because you're having a beef bourguignon or a pork jarret, you know.
We can guide. We can guide.
But we encourage people to try also, because you can have a nice, dry, crispy white wine that will go well with a beef fillet, you know.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah. All right, so let's remind folks, it's new. It's not new because they had partners who they now bought out. Now they're the sole owners of La Cuisine, Elodie and Patrice Perron, and they're excited about it. So if you don't know where it is, it's obviously go on the internet, look it up. It's right behind the Marion Theater here in Ocala. What are your hours now for? You're open for lunch, obviously, which all the restaurants are, by the way.
Yeah, for lunch we open at 11:30 from Tuesday through Friday.
Yeah. And then
dinner. Until 2, and then dinner. Right now it's summer, so it's a little bit slow for us. So Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 5:30. And
the bar, is it closed, or is it still open after dinner, or how does that work?
Well, if we have people, we can, you know, we love to chat, and you know, how we...
You're ready. We have a nice bar, we have a full liquor now.
Yeah, we like to chat and have people at the bar.
Just roll, when we say this stuff, you just roll with the punch. Whatever happens, you just roll with it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And so you're there, and do you fix special orders of things? If you say, could you get me some of this, and maybe leave this off and that off, and can I sort of give you...
The other day we had a phone call the day before the reservation, and they were asking for French toast, you know, the pain perdu.
French toast?
Yes.
Yeah,
so we did that. Yes.
French toast. They ask for French fries also?
Of course, every day.
Yeah. Well, it's so good to talk to you. It's so good to have a chance to visit with you and to share your passion on what you're doing, and especially for downtown and for the city of Ocala. We're glad you're in Ocala.
Thank
I
you.
hope you have great success. I know you will. Again, 3 urban spoons. You've gotten them from Florida Trend, which is the ultimate award for great restaurants, and we appreciate all that you bring to our community. And thanks for being on the radio show. Appreciate
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
All the best to you. We'll be down to see you soon. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye. And bon appétit.
Thank you. Bon appétit. Elodie and Patrice Perron. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and we'll wrap up the news, and we'll see what else is in store. Coming up at 5 o'clock, we got some talk about Florida Gators versus the Seminoles. Is it an orange and blue state, Tom, or is it a garden and gold state?
I think that, you know, it's a white and blue state. The blue and white of Georgia Southern's what I think, but that's just me.
Yeah, well, hey, pal, go one state up. You're in the wrong state.
26-20, pal. That's all I know.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Come back and talk more on the other side for this time out on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day, whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands. At Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
WOCA.
Whether you're building it up or knocking it down, get it done, rent it now. Sunbelt Rentals is here to make your job a little easier. Our knowledgeable staff will help you find the right equipment for any job, big or small. Did you know that Sunbelt Rentals carries heaters, air conditioners, generators, lighting, traffic control, and so much more? So whether you're building it up or knocking it down, we've got the equipment you need. Get it done, rent it now. And right now, for a limited time, you can have it for less. Just by mentioning this ad, if you rent it Friday afternoon, you can keep it the whole weekend and only pay for one day. But this is a limited time offer, so stop into Sunbelt Rentals today, Northwest 27th, just a quarter mile east of I-75. For more information, just give us a call, 352-369-9101. 352-369-9101. Sunbelt Rentals. Get it done, rent it now. 352-369-9101.
Who would you feed if you had 50 chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A? WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall have teamed up to reward one organization with 50 chicken sandwiches as a way of saying thanks for the great work that organization is doing in our community. And we need your help. See, there are so many great people doing great things that we need nominations. You can nominate your own organization or any organization you choose. Simply send an email to WOCA@WOCA.com. And in 350 words or less, tell us why the organization you are nominating should receive 50 free chicken sandwiches from WOCA and Chick-fil-A at the Paddock Mall. We'll review your nominations and then select one deserving organization each month. We'll announce the winner and even read the winning entry on the air. Make sure to include the contact name and phone number of the organization that you are nominating. And thanks from your friends at WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall.
When the night has come and the land is dark.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala, live from Mark's front porch. From the front porch to Mark's on Cindy's front porch at Mark's Steak and Seafood. I'm Tom, back in the studio, following stories on the internet, and this story is one that should concern everyone, especially if you picked up food at Costco, Kroger, Walmart, Sam's Club, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, Ralph's, and Food for Less. There is a nationwide recall, according to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. WOCA Packing Company is voluntarily recalling peaches, nectarines, plums, and pluots that are packed in the Cutler, California warehouse between June 1st and July 12th. They believe that it is contaminated with listeria. Consumers should look for a sticker on their fruit that says sweet to eat, according to the recall orders. Testing at WOCA revealed the potential listeria combination. Listeria was found on 2 nectarines and 1 peach. It is not clear how they became contaminated, but the facility was shut down and sanitized. So they say they were aware of no illnesses related to the consumption of these projects, but they're taking the precautionary steps of recalling products so we can minimize even the slightest risk to public health. That's the priority of WOCA. But these are for the stores of Costco, which we don't have here, but Kroger we don't have here, but Walmart we do, Sam's we have here, Whole Foods we have here, and Trader Joe's we have in this state. So if you take the trip to Gainesville to go to Trader Joe's or to Orlando or somewhere to go to Whole Foods, or you shop at Walmart or Sam's Club, the WOCA Packing Company has voluntarily recalled their peaches, nectarines, plums, and pluots. Buddy, this is a big deal, recalling this kind of fruit nationwide like this in stores that are some of the most shopped stores in the country.
Without question, I read that story, Tom, and I know that they did say nobody was going to the hospital about this. But what's evident in this story is that so many things can happen to your food prep. Every other month or something, as we find some kind of bug in food someplace. Who knows what we've eaten over the years? But these are the things we know about. They're recalling automobiles and they're recalling food. So what else are they going to recall?
Did you hear about the what the recall was that yesterday the GM did? Did you hear what caused that recall?
We talked about the story, but we never did actually.
Well, they didn't announce it until today. They announced it today. It was a loose bolt on the power seats on the passenger side. I mean, on the driver's side, so the seat could move without you moving it.
Hmm.
You know, it could come loose and move on you without you moving it. That could cause a problem if it shifted while you were pressing the accelerator and pushed you forward. You could slam on the accelerator. That could be a problem.
Yeah, it could. Of course, if there was a crime to have a loose nut around someplace, this show would be arrested.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But for people, according to this story, the Wawona story, if you don't know what a pluot is, it's a combination between a plum and an apricot, a hybrid between a plum and an apricot. How about that?
Well, there you go. Tom, you know, I know you get good information on this show, and it's a show that a lot of people listen to, and they listen to it in the darndest places. Here's one for you. A friend of mine went in the hospital, not hospital, went into a local doctor's office to get a colonoscopy. Okay? He's lying there about to be administered the anesthesia, and he listens up and he hears our voices. And the doctors, the anesthesiologists are listening. They have obviously good taste, listening to the voice of Ocala. And he said, well, just think about it this way. If something happened to you, you didn't wake up, at least the last voices you would have heard been mine and Tom's. Good thing,
I'm not real sure that would have been a big selling point for me.
Okay. Anyway, you never know where we'll be heard next. Let's tee it up and see if we can get tweets and quotes rocking here, and we'll get toward the sports hour. Derek Tyson joins us to talk about the wave of enthusiasm of the Seminoles and whether they've overtaken the Gators in terms of popularity with the recruits. All that coming your way at 5 o'clock on Buddy Sports Page. Meanwhile, tweets and quotes. This is anonymous. Every sunset gives us one day less to live, but every sunrise gives us one more day to hope. Like that?
Yeah.
This comes from the great Johnny Unitas. There's a difference between conceit and confidence. Conceit is bragging. Confidence is believing you can get the job done. According to Johnny U. And this is one that I'm sure you probably heard before from one of our favorite quote machines, Winston Churchill. A lie gets halfway around the world before the truth has a chance to get its pants on. Yes, sir.
That's one of my favorite quotes from him, by the way.
Yeah, he has some good ones for sure. So, all right, the Sports Hour, Tom. We got. I watched the Rays game last night, by the way. Rays are hot as a firecracker right now.
They beat St. Louis last night pretty good.
They beat them in the 2-game series, swept them, and Alex Cobb pitched great. Every now and then it's good to watch a baseball game, you know? Just kick back and...
Yeah, it is. I didn't really... I watched the Marlins Braves. I don't like the outcome of that game, but okay, you know.
Yeah, we won't talk about it right now. I don't want you to get in the bad mood, so... But we're going to talk some football. We'll talk about what's happening in some bad boys in the NFL. Lots more coming your way in Buddy Martin Sports Page. Stay tuned. We're live from the front porch of Barks Prime Steakhouse and Seafood in downtown Ocala. Stay tuned to
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
But you walked across my heart like it was Texas. And you taught me how to say.
Are you a business owner looking for a new and innovative way to reach consumers by thinking outside of the box? Well, here's a great new idea that thinks inside the box. Value Box. Value Box is a beautiful recipe box that features your business's profile on the front of recipe cards with a personal recipe on the back. With Value Box, a business's name can stay in front of their customers for years. They also offer an app for your iPhone or iPad for those who cook in the 21st century. So if it's time for your business to think outside the box to reach consumers, start by thinking inside the box with Value Box. For more information, you can contact Chuck Henderson of Value Box USA at 352-433-5301. That's 352-433-5301. Or by email, chuck@valueboxusa.com.
Hello,
everybody. This is Terry Bradshaw of Fox NFL Sunday. Whenever I'm in Ocala, if I'm not picking and singing with my buddy Mel Tillis, then I'm listening to my longtime friend Buddy Martin on WOCA. Of course, I rarely get to Ocala, so if you believe that, I've got some horses I'd like to sell you. Some of them even have 4 legs. Regardless, I highly recommend you listen to Buddy Martin's Sports Page weekdays at 5 p.m. right here on The Source.
Are you in the process of planning your wedding reception? Or are you planning that birthday party for someone special? Or maybe you're just looking to throw a party for yourself. Are you in charge of this year's company outing and looking for something fresh and fun to do? Well, KT Entertainment is your answer to all those questions. We provide music, trivia, and karaoke for everybody's enjoyment. If you would like to get in touch with KT Entertainment and find out about our competitive prices, call us at 352-512-2611. That's 352-512-2611. Or you can find us on the web at kt4fun.com. That's KT, the number 4, fun.com. So remember, whether it's a wedding reception, a party, or a company outing, it's KT Entertainment for all your karaoke, trivia, or musical needs.
On Friday, July 25th, the Marion Dunn Masonic Lodge number 19 will again host its popular public open house event at the Lodge in Ocala from 6 p.m. until 7:30 p.m. The annual event is free and open to the public. The public is invited to attend a short program which will briefly look at Freemasonry and the rich 165-year history of Marion Dunn Masonic Lodge. The roots of Freemasonry and the impact it has upon the world, our nation, innovative medical research, childhood diseases, and our community will be presented. There will be no soliciting, and visitors should feel free to ask questions and look around undisturbed as they view the artifacts and the inside of the lodge. Plus, refreshments will be served. The address of the event is 1846 Southeast 36th Avenue in Ocala. If you'd like more information, give the lodge a call at 352-694-2461 or go on Facebook to Marion Dunn Masonic Lodge number 19. The public open house event is sponsored in part by BTB Contracting.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
On which day are we most likely to have a tension headache? If you guess Monday, well, you're right on. If you want to get noticed, just smile more often. People, it turns out, spot others whose teeth they're showing when they smile twice as fast as those who have closed mouths. And they don't want to go where you want to go. They don't want to do what you like to do. If that sounds familiar, focus on your other friends.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Your home is safe, or is it? AA Lock, Dock, and Security. The name has been a staple in Ocala since 1985. Do you have the right equipment in place to have peace of mind when you are at home or away? AA Lock, Dock, and Security has the right people to install and monitor your home or business. Call today for a free on-site security analysis. Call 867-1965. AA Lock, Dock, and Security, 219 Northwest 10th Street, 867-1965.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. A female employee fatally shot a doctor wounded at a hospital psychiatric unit south of Philadelphia. DA John Whelan says the gunman had mental health issues.
We have gone through each and every floor. There are no additional shooters here. We have the one in custody. He is in critical condition.
The U.S. accusing Russia of firing rockets into Ukraine. The Dutch Prime Minister accusing insurgents of using cell phones and credit cards of people killed when that Malaysia Airlines jet was shot down over eastern Ukraine.
Tegen alle regels.
Against all rules of a studious investigation, there are people who are fooling around amongst the debris with personal and recognizable items of the victims. This is utterly disgusting.
Mark Rutte speaking through a translator. The Dow closing down 3, the Nasdaq off 2. Fox News, we report, you decide.
When cologne is on sale for $3.49 a quart, you don't stock up. When scented bubble bath is on sale for $3.49 a quart, you definitely don't stock up. But now that Napa has Castrol GTX oil on sale for $3.49 a quart, you stock up your garage, your shed, maybe even your bathroom cabinets. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. General states pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 7/31/14.
When burns happen, what you do first matters most. First Degree Burn Cream is the only solution that truly soothes the pain, protects against infection, and helps reduce the appearance of burn scars.
Me and my daughter were doing a craft together, and she reached over and grabbed a hot glue gun. She started screaming, so I immediately ran to my cabinet and grabbed my First Degree Burn Cream, and within a few minutes, her pain seemed to have gone away, and there was no scar.
Burns happen, so be prepared with First Degree Burn Cream.
How much time? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho. Ho, ho, ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here.
Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the poorhouse at the same time. He didn't think we could do it.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
And now, here's Buddy.
We're back on the program, Voice of Ocala Buddy Sports Page. On a Thursday, we're live on the front porch of Cindy's front porch, I should say, of Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood, located on the corner of Magnolia and Broadway. Among the things we're hearing about, and I'm just texting right now to find out, is, talk a lot about the loyalties of this community to their teams. And we all know the Seminoles are out in full force these days, as well as they should be after winning a national championship. But we've heard a rumor, and this goes in line with what we've been talking about the last few weeks, that maybe the Marion County Gator Club is not even going to have a meeting before the season. Now, we're looking for confirmation. I've texted a couple of people and asked them to get back to me. One of my sources who used to be on the board said, don't know, not off the board now, don't know. Contact a couple of people to see if they can find this out. This would indicate what we've been saying here now for a couple of years, that the support for the Gators appears to be waning in football, not so much in basketball. Ocala is a big community for basketball, and Billy Donovan, and they support Billy, and Billy continually sends his staff members down here to talk and meet and have sessions with the Gator basketball fans. But Gator football has taken a big slide, and not just in the record. Now the question becomes, how bad does it have to get before it starts bouncing back, and somebody does something about it? Right now, I'm not hearing a lot of talk. I did, however, talk with a gentleman yesterday, formerly a president of the Gator Club, and formerly had relatives that played on the football team and have been in the past very connected, who was meeting with the University of Florida official, in fact, playing golf with him. And I said, do me a favor, tell your friend they need to come down here and talk to us and get us, queue up Marion County, Ocala, and remember that we're here. Because one of the problems we're having there is that not only have Gator fans apparently abandoned their posts in some regards, but the University of Florida, in some regards, have abandoned Marion County. So we've got a plan. We're going to talk about that. Tom and I have been working for a while, and we will continue to pursue this plan. If you are a Gator fan, to maybe show your colors and speak up, and the Seminole fans don't need any reason to do that. They've got their reason. So we'll talk about that more coming up in this hour. And at 5:35, we'll talk to Derek Tyson, who's the SEC recruiting writer for ESPN, and we'll talk to him about what the recruits are saying about which school they're going to attend. So Derek will join us. We'll talk about that. So, Tom, time for some news.
Yeah, buddy. Pretty much a bunch of news today. Not good. Baltimore Ravens running back Ray Rice has been suspended for the first 2 games of this season for violating the NFL's personal conduct policy. If you remember, he was arrested in the offseason for domestic violence after video showed that he dragging his unconscious wife out of an elevator at an Atlantic City hotel in February. He was also fined an additional regular season game check, but is eligible to participate in training camp in all of Baltimore's preseason games. I'm looking at the ESPN Sports Nation poll that asked, was this too harsh, appropriate, or too lenient? 59% of the people responding, too lenient. What do you think?
Yeah, Tom, I think the reason being, and I heard some of this discussion on ESPN this afternoon before I came out to the show, if you see what's happening to players for being suspended for things in games where they have illegal hits, and of course we know about some of the things in the arena of the PEDs, et cetera, for what appeared to be a very bad case of domestic violence. And let's be clear, we never really don't see what happens before the elevator opens.
He just drags an unconscious woman out of the elevator. That's all we see.
But there's also the story of, we don't see whether or not she abused him. And remember, we had Dr. Marsone earlier this week. We talked about abuse, and she said she's seen cases before of women abusing men. Now, I'm not taking up for Ray Rice or what he did, don't get me wrong. But without knowing that component, it's hard to know. But it does seem to be very, very light if you look at the penalties they're handing out for other things.
Yeah, well, I think it was probably a little too lenient myself. Also today...
They got married, by the way, So
also, today, another bad story. 2 University of Texas football players arrested and charged Thursday with felony sexual assault after a female student says she was raped in a campus dorm last month. Wide receivers Kendall Sanders and Montreal Meander were in custody at the University Police Station. According to arrest affidavit, Sanders and Meanders texted each other during earlier interviews with the police to get their story straight. Sanders also faces a charge of improper photography tied to the alleged assault. First-year Longhorn coach Charlie Strong says, we have been monitoring and addressing the situation with Kendall and Montreal since it was brought to our attention. It's been made clear to everyone on our team that treating women with respect is one of our core values. I'm extremely disappointed that 2 young men in our program have been accused of not doing that. These sexual assault charges carry 20 years in prison for if they're found if they're convicted, buddy.
Wow. Yeah, that's Coach Strong got his work cut out there, obviously, like a lot of head coaches in college football.
Justin Blackman, Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver, has been arrested for a 3rd time, this time in Edmond, Oklahoma, where police have charged him with possession of marijuana. This from a story by our good friend Mike Duraco. Several Oklahoma television stations reported that Edmond police stopped Blackman for a traffic violation. They could smell marijuana coming from his car. They searched the car, found marijuana, and took Blackman into custody. Blackman is currently serving an indefinite suspension from the NFL after his 3rd violation of the substance abuse policy. He was suspended for the first 4 games in 2013 because of his 2nd violation. So this looks like this may be strike 3 for Blackman in the NFL, buddy.
Yeah, I don't think the Jaguars are having more to do with him, and he'll be lucky if he gets a job. And if he does, it'll be a lot less money than what he would have gotten. So 2
more stories. This one good if you like making money. Roddy White signs a 4-year extension, including 3 additional years added to his current deal, which was slated to run out after this season. It'll run through the 2017 season. At 32, White is coming off a down season with the Falcons. He only caught 63 passes for 711 yards, but he's been plagued by injuries. But Blackman signs a 4-year deal worth up to $30 million, including $18 million over the next 2 seasons. So Roddy White got paid today. And are you much into auctions, buddy? Do you like sports memorabilia and auctions?
I do. It's got a little out of hand, but for the most part, I do like the really genuine stuff.
Well, this one is genuine. It's going on auction. It is the Chicago Bulls' original copy of Michael Jordan's $33 million 1-year contract, the most valuable single-season contract in NBA history. It's hit the auction block. The contract which Jordan signed for the 97-98 season was his last with the Bulls. That season culminated in a 6th championship. Contract signed by Jordan himself and initialed by him on each of the 24 pages. It's also signed by Jerry Krause, former Bulls general manager. The original estimate for the contract's value by the company auctioning it, Dallas-based Heritage Auctions, $30,000. But with a week remaining until the bidding closes, bidding has already topped over $28,000. So it looks like it's going to exceed the $30,000 mark for 24 pieces of paper, one that has Jordan's signature and 24 with his initials. Can you believe that?
No, I can't. It's amazing.
That's all the headlines, buddy.
All right, thank you, Tom. And by the way, is LeBron sending any more cupcakes out today? Just checking to see.
No more cupcakes, but I don't. I'm gonna have to ask you when we come back from break, because I'm starting to think more and more that how is Cleveland not getting rid of Andrew Wiggins?
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. And by the way, I'm going to ask you about whether or not, why is it this town supports basketball up at Gainesville and Billy Donovan?
That's an easy answer.
Yeah, and on the other hand, not so much Gator football, where hearing the rumors, not confirmed, that there is not going to be a preseason meeting of the Marion County Gator Cup. That's kind of upsetting for Gator fans. At least it is for me. And we're going to try to provide, we are solutions-oriented, Tom. Let's come up with a solution. We got one idea. Maybe we can plant a seed, maybe get something going, but it's going to require some cooperation from the folks at Gainesville. So stay tuned for that coming up next right here. And we'll talk some baseball on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Hi, it's Lisa Midget with Kinetic Motion Fitness. I'm looking forward to a fun, healthy summer, and I have a few ideas that might just help you and your friends stay in shape and have fun too. Along with awesome personal training and group classes at our warm and inviting fitness studio, we also offer fitness classes at your home or business. And if you're tired of the same old, boring cake and punch party, why not let us host a hot new health trend, a fitness party at your home or office? If you're having a hard time getting to the gym this summer, because of your crazy schedule, then work out with your friends or coworkers in a private group fitness class, or host a fitness party at your home or office. We will bring you and your friends or coworkers one of our great workouts like Zumba, Pilates, Body Bar, Yoga, Tai Chi Boot Camp, or Zumba Tomics for kids. We can even help you reach your long-term goals by meeting at your place weekly for an on-location workout. Check out our website at kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. Kinetic Motion Fitness is located just 5 minutes from downtown Ocala near the Skylark Plaza. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are.
Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
It's the end of the fiscal year, and that means budget cuts and number crunching. Now's the time of the year you're evaluating your expenses, planning your budget, and finding ways to save money and increase efficiency to maximize profits. Dex Imaging understands and delivers. Call Dex Imaging today for a free document management evaluation. Cutting your office expenses is as easy as calling Dex Imaging, 352-266-0333. Start saving money today and increase your bottom line with Dex Imaging. Printers, copiers, and fax machines that increase office productivity and save you money. No one understands your bottom line better. Call Dex Imaging today, 352-266-0333, or check them out on the web at deximaging.com. That's DEXimaging.com. Or call 352-266-0333 for your free document management evaluation today.
Men, do you know your testosterone level? Are you experiencing decreased energy levels or unusual sleeping problems? Have you noticed you have less strength or endurance, decreased sex drive, increased irritability or depression? If so, you may be experiencing problems with low testosterone. If you're interested in a free testosterone screening, please call Rinstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. Again, that number is 352-629-5800.
Back in Front Porch City, downtown Ocala. Tom, this is about the time of year I like to start watching a little baseball. It's kind of, hot, not much on TV in early hours, and I can do work and watch a baseball game, and I've been enjoying the Rays the last couple of weeks because they've been playing such good baseball, and seeing how they're battling back. Joe Maddon's amazing. They're really the hottest baseball team in going these days. I forget their record, but I want to say 25-13 or something like that. They really been winning a bunch of games. Swept 2 from the Cardinals. Last night, Alex Cobb was brilliant. He's just getting back to his form as a right-handed pitcher. And lo and behold, he's at bat. He got his first base hit of his career and drove in a run last night. And then he gets up to bat and gets hit on the right elbow. And he's had arm problems with his right arm. And he was just getting back, and you think, oh, great, what luck that is. Turns out he was okay. He finished up, I think he pitched 7 some innings. Rays had 15 strikeouts in their other pitching staff. They're leading they're leading the league in strikeouts. And Tom, I heard this last night by Dwayne Stats. They're on course to set a record for strikeouts. What a pitching staff they've developed down there in St. Pete. They're not, all their guys aren't back yet, but they're sure fun to watch. They spray the ball over the field. They run the bases well. They're smart players. If you've seen any games, they have a rule of thumb that they do. When they get on base, they put their both the tips of their index fingers on their temples, like think, be aware. That's like their sign, international signal for pay attention. They're really playing good baseball, and it's fun to watch. So
they're 8-2. They're 8-2 since July 8th. They haven't lost since the All-Star break. They're 8-2 since July 8th. And since then they're 4, 11-4, 12-4, 13-4, 14-4, 15-4, 16-4, 16-5, 17, 18-5 since June 25th.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That almost a month of baseball, and they're 18-5.
They're a little better than pretty good. So now I don't know what this weekend will turn out to. They play the Red Sox. And now they're right in that go or no-go zone about whether trying to make a run for it or going ahead and get rid of David Price and get a couple of the really great prospects. But right now, clearly, Madden doesn't want to get rid of Price. And, if you notice Price, he's in the dugout. He's not in the bullpen. He's in the dugout. And he's taking part and he's patting guys on the back. He's really involved. And you can tell he's a guy, he likes playing for Tampa Bay. And I think he likes the franchise, but whether they can afford to keep him or not. So if you want to watch some enjoyable game, baseball, Red Sox are not playing, I guess, great right now. But
well, are you ready for this, buddy? They're only 4 games under 500.
Mm-hmm.
They're only 7 games out of the lead in the East.
Yeah.
They're only 4.5 games out of second place in the East.
And and they have. Madden said the whole time they're a second half team. Everybody said, yeah, right, sure they are. But they are a second half team, and they're winning. They manufacture runs. They get good bullpen now. They got the rotation set up. They got Price. So it'll be fun to see them get to the postseason. I know you don't watch them. You watch your beloved Braves, but I have enjoyed watching them the last couple of weeks.
Well, where they need to get better at, buddy, is home. They're 27-25 on the road for a +2, but they're 22-28 for a -6 at home.
Yeah.
And usually they do well at the Trop, so that's where they're going to have to start winning, is back at the Trop. They've won their last 7 in a row. They're 8-2 over their last 10. So, and that's the best record in baseball. They have the best record in baseball in the last month. They are the best team in baseball record-wise in the last month.
Yeah. My favorite story tonight, though, was the Molina brothers. This is funny. It's online, too. Last night, Yadier Molina, who catches for the Cardinals, was not able to play. He was injured, and so he right before his brother came out, catcher for the Rays, Jose, came out to pull in the gear and step behind the plate. Yadier put peanut butter crackers on home plate and a package of them, and the TV, the broadcast booth happened to see it, and they panned down and they got a picture of Jose putting those crackers in his back pocket. And they were talking about how good those peanut butter crackers were, And he said that suddenly when the Cardinals came back on the field and the Rays went to the dugout, Jose disappeared for a moment to go eat his peanut butter crackers, to enjoy his peanut butter crackers. A little brother thing going on there. It's kind of fun.
Well, peanut butter cracker, cheese crackers. Crackers were left at home plate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love peanut butter crackers.
I love crackers like that, so.
Yeah, I do too. You can leave them on my home plate anytime you want to.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about this thing with Gators, and coming up in a minute we'll talk to our friend Derek Tyson. But we got a phone call. Well, you could tell it. You got a phone call.
I got a phone call from a very big Gator fan that lives in this area. I won't say who his name is, but a very big Gator fan that lives in this area, and he asked me if I had heard anything about the Marion County Gator Club not having its pre-football dinner. Remember, we went a couple years ago and did a live broadcast from over there. Hunter Turner and I did a live broadcast from the Ewers Center on the campus of CF where they were having the dinner. And so he asked me, and I said, well, I'll ask Buddy. And you said you had heard rumors that there was problems with the Gator Club here, but you would check. And while we still don't have a definite answer, it just goes to the question, Buddy, of why is it that basketball is very, very alive and good? Gator basketball, the fandom of Gator basketball is alive and well in Marion County. But Gator football, I know a lot of my friends that live here in this area, that live in Marion County, they're active members in the Fighting Gator Touchdown Club in Gainesville instead of right here in Marion County. And it just begs the question, what's happening to the football fandom of the Gators here in Marion County?
It does raise that question. This goes back to the question, are we an orange and blue state or a garden ghost? And, I got that post on my Facebook page. I've gotten a lot of comments about. What's funny, I even got more comments when I posted today on Throwback Thursday a picture of a typewriter and said, anybody know what this is? I have about 25 comments. Everybody will make a comment about the typewriter, which is fun. But it is an issue. And I'm going to just tell the names of this. I guess I don't think you'll mind. Yesterday I ran into Dan McCall, who, of course, is connected to the University of Florida through Wayne, his whole family, been Gator fans. He was here yesterday at Starbucks, and he was going out to play golf with Phil Farr. Phil Farr is the guy who played football, now is the chief fundraiser for the university. That's what he does, alumni affairs. So he's out there all the time talking to people, what have you. And I said to Dan, tell Phil he needs to come down here and see us. He needs to give people a map in Gainesville, remind them where we are in Marion County, and that this was always a hotbed of Gator football. The problem is right now it's not. So, Tom, I have this idea. We talked about it. We're going to mention it today. We'll talk about it a little bit each day. We have decided the best thing for us to do is to start a campaign. Taking the line from the song, The Voice of Little Florida, which goes, through all kinds of weather, we'll all stick together. So we're going to, and this is Randy Briggs' inspiration for this, we're going to see if people care enough about their team. Anybody can root home a national champion. When you got a team that's down and have coming up a 4-8 season, are they willing to step up and raise their hand up and say, take the pledge, Boyceville, Florida, through all kinds of weather, we'll all stick together and say, I'm going to back the Gators, win, lose, or draw, because this is my university. We'll see how that goes and see if Gator fans are willing to step up and commit to that, because you can be disappointed, but you don't have to be disloyal.
I agree with you 100%. I remember growing up as a kid in my teenage years, in my early 20s, Florida just couldn't get over that hump. Steve Spurrier came here and helped them over the hump, but they could win 9 games a year, but just couldn't beat the University of Georgia. And I was living in Georgia at the time. And you want to talk about somebody who could have taken the opportunity to bail, to jump ship and go to another team to make it his team of choice. But I stuck it out with the Gators. And I think that's what you're saying is, through the hard times, that's when you really find the fans. It's easy to be a fair weather fan and live through the good times of winning national championships and playing in Atlanta for the SEC championship every year. It's when you hit the hard times and your team struggles that you really find out the difference between the fans of the school and people who just pull for the school when they're doing well.
And one of the problems that we have is that people who've started following football since 1990, all they've ever known is success.
Yeah.
They don't know what it's like. They were sitting around with Charlie Pell and when they didn't win a game back in 1979.
That was Doug Dickey. That wasn't Charlie Pell, was it?
No, 79 season was Charlie Pell.
Oh, that was Charlie Pell's first year. That's right. Yeah,
he didn't win a game. And they weren't there. And some of them were not there back in 68, 67, and some of the hard times. And they weren't there when Georgia beat Florida, 51-0 in the rain, when Ray Graves swapped his offensive defense coordinator. Anyway, so we'll talk about that, and we'll talk to Derek Tyson about the color of Florida, and talk about what else is in sports right here on Buddy Sports Page. Stay tuned to
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source. Regions Bank has big bank ability but possesses small bank agility. Utilizing tools like Raymond Andrews and his team of 6 mortgage experts with 100 years of experience in the mortgage industry and 50 years experience as members of the Regions Bank team. Mortgage lending is personal and important, and you deserve someone that will lead you through a positive process. Raymond and his team use local mortgaging processes like local appraisers and local closing to help you have a positive experience, and they habla Espanol as well. So whether you need a conventional, FHA, USDA, or VA loan, or you even need a construction loan, the mortgage team of your local Regions Bank has the knowledge and experience to guide you through the process. So contact Raymond Andrews and his team of mortgage experts at 352-854-4104. That's 352-854-4104. Regions Bank, it's time to expect more. Hi, this is Tom Schmitz of the Voice of Ocala, heard daily on these airwaves from 3 to 6 p.m. People always come up and ask me, is Buddy Martin really a nice guy to work with? And I always tell them, sure, he's one of the nicest guys you could ever meet. It's a pleasure working with Buddy every day. It's almost like no work at all. Did that sound believable? I mean, wait, is this still on?
Need a car? Need financing? Need somebody to cut through the red tape and send you rolling down the highway? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Got great credit and just prefer a quality pre-owned car at a fair price from somebody you can trust? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Want to avoid high pressure to feel appreciated and be able to choose from a wide selection of AutoCheck and Carfax certified vehicles? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala and Bellevue. Prestige, it's all there in our name.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. A female employee fatally shot a doctor wounded at a hospital psychiatric unit south of Philadelphia. DA John Whelan says the gunman had mental health issues.
We have gone through each and every floor. There are no additional shooters here. We have the one in custody. He is in critical condition.
The U.S. accusing Russia of firing rockets into Ukraine. The Dutch Prime Minister accusing insurgents of using cell phones and credit cards of people killed when that Malaysia Airlines jet was shot down over eastern Ukraine.
Tegen alle regels. Against all rules of a studious investigation, there are people who are fooling around amongst the debris with personal and recognizable items of the victims. This is utterly disgusting.
Mark Rutte speaking through a translator. The Dow closing down 3, the NASDAQ off 2. Fox News, we report, you decide.
When cologne is on sale for $3.49 a quart, you don't stock up. When scented bubble bath is on sale for $3.49 a quart, you definitely don't stock up. But now that Napa has Castrol GTX oil on sale for $3.49 a quart, you stock up your garage, your shed, maybe even your bathroom cabinets. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. General states pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 7/31/14.
When burns happen, what you do first matters most. First Degree Burn Cream is the only solution that truly soothes the pain, protects against infection, and helps reduce the appearance of burn scars.
Me and my daughter were doing a craft together, and she reached over and grabbed a hot glue gun. She started screaming, so I immediately ran to my cabinet and grabbed my first degree burn cream, and within a few minutes, her pain seemed to have gone away, and there was no scar.
Burns happen, so be prepared with First Degree Burn.
Let's face it, nowadays it can be hard to find American-made products, and that's something that Cabinet Sales of North Florida is well aware of. That's why they're an authorized dealer of Wellborn Cabinetry, family-owned and American-made since 1961. Cabinet Sales of North Florida is your answer for complete turnkey kitchen remodels and whole-house cabinetry. Their cabinets are finished with solvent-based enamels for a long-lasting finish that's second to none. Available in an incredible selection of door styles and colors to choose from to turn your dream kitchen into a reality. In-house design and drawing services are available. Come by and see our displays for yourself at the Floors of the Villages, 3935 County Road 216 in Oxford, or Exquisite Design Kitchen and Bath in Bellevue, right across the street from the Bellevue Library. So whether you're looking for bookcases, kitchen, bath, or outdoor kitchen, Cabinet Sales of North Florida is your one-stop source of quality cabinets. For a free estimate, call 352-427-2647. That's 352-427-2647. Cabinet Sales of North Florida.
Sign up for this year's Marion County Heart Walk and be part of a local movement that's helping others live longer, healthier lives. Join me, Corey Poole, your 2014 Marion County Heart Walk Chairman, and walk with me on Saturday, October the 4th at the Baseline Road Trailhead. It's a free event promoting physical activity and heart-healthy living. To find out how you can help fight the #1 killer of all Americans, visit us online at marionheartwalk.org.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
On which day are we most likely to have a tension headache? If you guess Monday, well, you're right on. If you want to get noticed, just smile more often. People, it turns out, spot others whose teeth they're showing when they smile twice as fast as those who have closed mouths. And they don't want to go where you want to go. They don't want to do what you like to do. If that sounds familiar, focus on your other friends.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Welcome back to the Sports Page. Before we go to Derek Tyson, this interesting story. We talked about Ray Rice case and about domestic violence, what have you. And sexual harassment has been in the news, too. Here's one for you I never thought I'd read. Ohio State fires band director over sexual harassment, according to USA Today. No.
Fires band director over, so the Ohio State University fired their band director over sexual harassment.
Correct. That's right. Two-month investigation covers a serious cultural issue and environmental conducive to sexual harassment among the students, according to Columbus Dispatch. And so the president is quoted as saying nothing more important than the safety of our students, blah, 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 blah. They fired the band director.
All right. So the band director won't be dotting the I anytime soon.
That's it. And by the way, I just saw a fabulous video of the Michael Jackson moonwalk done by the Ohio State band. If you haven't seen it, Google it. It is incredible. They have an actual image of Michael Jackson, and he's doing the moonwalk. The band does the moonwalk. Anyway, on to more important things like Gator football and recruiting and Florida State versus Florida. What color is the state of Florida? It looks like Marion County here is getting a little bit more garnet and gold than it is orange and blue. But we'll talk about that, with, among other things, with this gentleman who covers recruiting in the SEC for ESPN, Derek Tyson. Hello, Derek. How you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you today?
Very good, sir. We had a nice conversation earlier this week, and we talked about the issue of this whole thing with Florida State, whether Florida State will be able to make leaps and bounds after this national championship season. And I think I pointed out that in the mid-'80s that when Florida was on probation, FSU came out of semi-obscurity, although really the program started winning a little bit before that. But when Bobby Bowden got there in like '87, they started winning multiple like double-digit winning seasons, and they had a remarkable scooped up a remarkable amount of talent in the field while Florida was on probation. And FSU then sort of grabbed a hold of that, won a couple national championships, and really had it all their way until Urban Meyer came along after Steve Spurrier and kind of put it back in a secondary role. But now the Noles are back. So in doing this, it's a long question, I know, but in doing this story I'm working on for Southern Picture, and I wanted to know what's happening out there in the field. And Derek, you talk to a lot of kids who are trying to make up their minds about which school to attend. And I asked you this the other day. Share with us, which way is the wind blowing now in the recruiting fields?
Oh man, yeah, this is a tough question because it really I think Florida State probably has a slight advantage right now. But like we had talked about on the phone earlier this week, buddy, a lot of these kids grew up watching Tim Tebow and Percy Harvin. Now that they're in high school, that's who they like. So Florida still got a little bit of an edge as far as kids watching them when they were younger and so forth. But what you're going to have now is kids that watched Jameis Winston. They're going to feel the same way about Florida State here in a few years. So I think right now Florida State probably has a little bit of an advantage just because of how well they have done. And Florida obviously had a down year last year, but still, there's plenty of talent in the state of Florida and plenty to go around to all the schools.
Derek, you played football at a high level growing up, and you had got out of school at one point in time. You were thinking about state schools, and you had to get orange and blue in your eye. Wound up going to Navy and then transferred to a smaller college in Michigan, I believe, and played quarterback. But I know what your recruiting experience must have been like. You wanted that Gator. You wanted that orange and blue taste so bad in your mouth. And I'm asking this question because it's relevant today to what is the Derek Tyson of today, who maybe is a 3-star or whatever. What are their dreams about where they're going to play? For the most part, you can't make a generalization, but you run across kids like that. What does it seem to be for those people?
I hear both. I hear both all the time about kids that grew up Florida State or Florida fans, and I think it's right down the middle. I mean, a lot of it depends on the location or where they grew up at, their family, what their family grew up rooting for. But I hear both. George Campbell, for instance, he's a guy, a 5-star prospect that he grew up a Florida fan, but his uncle, who he was raised by his uncle, he grew up a Florida State fan. So they're kind of torn down the middle, and he's considering both schools. But you hear it all the time. I mean, guys from all over the state. DeAndre Johnson, he's a quarterback that's committed to Florida State right now. He grew up a Florida fan. So, a lot of times it doesn't really matter who you grew up for. It's what's the better situation for you and what's going to get you playing time and a chance to go to the NFL. And I think guys realize that now. And but really, I mean, honestly, it's split right down the middle. You hear guys all over the place saying either Florida or Florida State. And if you're in South Florida, Miami, too.
Yeah, and I won't forget about them. I'm just talking about the two state universities right now. Of course, we have state universities in Orlando and Tampa. Don't get me wrong, and you're right. We should bring them up because, after all, UCF had a great year last year and finished in the top 10 and won a bowl game, whatever. This is just a question about whether or not Florida has lost its place. And although, from what you're saying, although they had the really bad season, 4-8, apparently there's a lot of loyalty out there, and they're still getting into homes of these recruits and getting their attention.
Yeah, and keep in mind that they went 4-8, but they were 11-2 the year before that. And Urban Meyer had recruited very well, and recruits saw those great years under Tebow and Percy Harvin, and saw what they're capable of. And they real. I mean, they're smart enough today to realize, hey, you have a couple down years, but that's not typical of Florida. And the same with Florida State. When they had some down years towards the end of Bobby Bowden's career, recruits know that. They're not going to be down for long. They're just having a rough few years. But, I think at the end of the day, these kids, they're going to make the best decisions for themselves, and they want to play for the chance to go to the NFL, win a national championship. And I think both schools give recruits that opportunity. So, it's really, like I said, it's right down the middle of what I hear of guys who they root for.
Derek, Tom Schmitz here. Let me ask you this. I know that Florida and Florida State are battling back and forth, but where does the introduction of great seasons at schools where kids can maybe perceive they could play right away, such as a UCF that won a BCS bowl game for the first time in his career, how are those schools impacting the decisions of kids going to Florida or Florida State that you hear out there?
It's such a recruiting is such a tough game because you have to make that decision. What's more important? Do you want to go to Alabama that have signed the number one class the last 3 years and sit for 2 years, or do you want to go to UCF and play right away? And they've done well. Obviously, they won a BCS bowl game last year, so it's you get a mix of both of them. Alabama, it's amazing to me what they've been able to do with recruits that say, "Hey, I don't care if I redshirt. I just want to go." Win a national championship, get good coaching, and have a chance to go to the NFL. So it really it's tough. I mean, there are the guys that want to play early, and that's all they want to do is play early. But so UCF does benefit from that. USF benefits from that. But Alabama, I think, has done a good job of playing freshmen. Florida State, Florida, they both have done a tremendous job of playing guys early. But a 3-star guy or a guy that's maybe not a 5-star guy, they want to play too. So they have to make that decision, and it's tough. But it's really all down to the recruit what they see, and you see a mix of both, either playing time or the chance to play for a championship.
Derek Tyson, ESPN, SEC recruiting. Derek, you made a great point about Tebow and Harvin and how the carryover is that for kids who saw him play. You're exactly right. You also made a point earlier this week that it's way too early to be making an assessment of what recruiting is, because right now they're lined up to see where kids are going to go, and it could be that Florida has that unusual season. Maybe wins 9 games, whatever, and has the opportunity to get the attention of some of the kids. You mentioned 3 guys that could go either way who would make a huge difference in the program. One was C.C. Jefferson from Baker County. One was George Campbell, who you mentioned, from Eastlake, and the other was the linebacker Jeffrey Holland from Jacksonville Trinity. So those 3 guys could make or break a class right there, huh?
Yeah, they really could. There's several guys. Those are 3 that kind of stood out, and a lot of these recruits are playing the wait and see approach with Florida this year. Like, hey, if they have another down year, they may go somewhere else. But if Florida does have a good year, I expect them to land several of those top guys. And C.C. Jefferson, his dad has a gator tattoo on his arm. And I really believe if Florida had gone to a BCS game, he would already be committed to Florida. But I think he's taking a step back and waiting and seeing what's going on. He's visited FSU. He's planning to visit FSU coming up here soon. So, all those guys, it really will depend on the type of season that Florida State and Florida have, and I think it's going to come down to if Florida's going to keep Muschamp, and if they show improvement, I think that's going to play a lot with these guys.
Good stuff, Derek, as always. Appreciate your information and insight. We'll get you back again here a little later on when the football season starts. Thanks so much.
All right, sounds good. Have a good day, guys.
All right, Derek Tyson, ESPN, SEC Recruiting. Thank you, Ray. Come back. We'll finish up with Franz Beard coming up next right here on the Voice of Ocala Buddy Sports page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
It's the ultimate summer staycation, just minutes from downtown Ocala, but miles away from the ordinary. A summer sports or summer golf membership at Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club is your all-inclusive ticket to a summer filled with activities and fun from June through September. A summer membership at Golden Ocala opens the door to a world-class setting. Is golf your game? Is tennis your passion? Or is lounging poolside more your speed? Want to get in shape? Work out in the state-of-the-art fitness center and then relax and unwind in the sauna or the spa. Summer members also have use of the Equestrian Center at Golden Ocala, offering full board and paddock, impeccable trails, and a jumping ring for riders of all ages. Summer memberships are going fast, so visit goldenocala.com and explore the options. Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. This summer, you can live there and still play here.
Hi, this is Lisa Midget, owner of the Properties Salon in downtown Ocala. Here in Florida, we're all about summertime fun, but along with the warm weather comes humidity, which leads to the dreaded frizzies. Are you tired of checking the weather report every morning before deciding to flat iron your hair? Sick of looking like the Lion King every day by noon? Has God just not seen fit to answer your prayers for patience and silky, frizz-free hair? Well, your troubles are over. Come to the Properties Salon for one of our hair smoothing systems. Specializing in Peter Coppola and Cezanne keratin smoothing treatments, the Properties Salon can tame your unruly locks with these formaldehyde-free formulas. And with the discount code BuddyRocks, you will save 20%. Not fighting the frizzies? Mention the same code BuddyRocks to save 20% off one of our many services such as cuts, color extensions, and manis and petties. Gentlemen, this special is not just for the ladies. We do great cuts and color for men too. Check us out at theproperties.com for more information.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Jim George. Jim will be in the studio from American Cable Services answering our questions about what's going on in the world of TV and the internet.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events are bite-sized.
And then it's Horse Sense with the Equine Alliance of Marion County educating us about the horse industry.
Join Kelly Fuquay-Hart, the executive editor of Ocala Magazine on Ocala Magazine Radio.
And then Kirsten Kennedy, the education director at the Ocala Civic Theater, will be here with members of the cast of the Youth Musical 13. They're coming in to speak to us about their production.
Jimmy Dore will be joining us. He's the host of The Jimmy Dore Show. He starred in several Comedy Central specials. He's appeared on The Jimmy Kimmel Show and The Late Show with Craig Ferguson and NBC's Last Comic Standing. He's written a book called Your Country Is Just Not That Into You.
All of that plus Fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information. Must act by 1/15/14.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
We are The Source, WOCA.
Back on Sunday's Front Porch, downtown Ocala, go out now to Gainesville, and the man who writes about the University of Florida for FightingGators.com will get his take on it again. We asked him this on Monday whether Florida is a state of garnet and gold or orange and blue. And I'm reading that, again, Florida has lost 2 recruits. This has been a couple of days old. 2 top ESPN top 300 recruits have decommitted. Is that a big deal, friends?
Not really. It's still early, and the way kids are these days, there are going to be a lot of decommitments and so forth. Not just in Florida, but everywhere else. There once was a time when kids gave their pledge, and that was pretty much it. But these days and times, it's not unusual for a kid to flip. Will Muschamp's nickname on the recruiting trail is Flipper, and that's because he flips kids that have been committed for months and months and months to come to the University of Florida. So it's not really that big of a deal.
Whenever I did that, everybody said he was being unethical. Now everybody does it. It's funny how these situation ethics come up, right? Depends on who's doing it, I guess. All right. So
it's a different game, buddy. As you know, and I know, it's a lot different game nowadays. And times we've gone through years and years and years when nobody ever recruited a kid once he was committed someplace else, but now it's commonplace.
For sure. Well, a few days before we start, got Media Day coming up here shortly, and it's on. We saw the Media Days in Birmingham now, Media Days for the Big 12, and you saw the reappearance of Spurrier and Saban and Muschamp on ESPN over the week. What'd you think? I'm sure you got a chance to catch some of Spurrier's act with Saban, which I thought was rather entertaining.
Oh, Stevie Wonder is the most entertaining coach in pro football, in college football or in pro football. And somebody wrote that the biggest problem with Steve Spurrier is they don't put his stuff on prime time, and I agree with that. He's the most honest coach out there, and he'll give you his opinion whether you like it or not.
Absolutely. Let me switch gears and switch sports to you here. Let's talk about a couple of Gator basketball players. And, Joakim Noah was certainly one of your favorites and mine, too. At Florida, he's made himself into a great pro and made all-pro this year, even despite overcoming his feet problem. Now, if the Bulls get a missing piece there, they may be able to make a little bit of a run. Are you surprised and impressed with what Noah has done?
Not really, because of the fact that I think he's got an unparalleled work ethic. He comes to practice every day with the idea that he's going to get better, and he comes to practice also with the idea that he's going to do everything he can to make his teammates better. That rubbed the wrong way when he first went to Chicago. A lot of guys weren't accustomed to a guy that just busted his butt every single day in practice, but it's kind of contagious, and from everything I understand, every Bulls practice is one which everybody just hustles because nobody wants to get shown up by Noah, and he is the unparalleled leader of that ball club. If I'm a guy like Kevin Love, I'm looking at that team and thinking, you know what, that'd be a great place to play. Noah will bring out the best in everybody.
Yeah, we'll see where Kevin Love winds up going. Another guy who played on that team, a guy that probably didn't get as much publicity, but a guy I love seeing him play at both ends, Corey Brewer. He's coming to Ocala, but for the back-to-back youth basketball camp, which is hosted by the Minnesota Timberwolves, and by him, and he's going to come out and work with kids. First time he ever brought it down to Florida, so that'll be good. And Corey played the game of basketball with so much joy, didn't he?
Oh my goodness! And a guy that when they write one day when Webster's writes the words in "good son" in its dictionary, the next two words you'll see are Corey Brewer. I remember him on draft night back in 2007 when I asked him, said, "How does it feel to be a millionaire?" And he said, "The same way it felt yesterday." I said, "What do you do with all the money?" He said, "That's up to my parents." He said, "They can have all of it." He said, "I've worn blue jeans and T-shirts all my life. I can keep wearing them as long as they're happy and comfortable."
Yeah, for sure. Sure, and enjoy watching him play. All right, friends, we'll wrap it up for another Thursday. We appreciate you joining us today, and we'll catch up to you on Monday. A little bit more news as we get closer to football season. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. Take care, buddy.
All
Have
right,
a great
friends.
weekend.
Thank you. Thanks to the folks over at La Cuisine, Elodie and Patrice. Also, Tito and Michaela.
You made it through, buddy. You made it through.
I made it through, absolutely. Thanks to Tom Schmitz. And also, good job by Kristen Colas. I'm Buddy Martin. Have a great night. Happy birthday, by the way, to Stella, my granddaughter.
Never was around, but you grew up tall and
Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant. Men, do you know your testosterone level? Are you experiencing decreased energy levels or unusual sleeping problems? Have you noticed you have less strength or endurance?